This is an ICTV News special report.
Good evening, and welcome to an ICTV News special report. I'm Jordan Broking. Tonight, an exclusive one-on-one interview with Ithaca College's newest president, President Cornish. Cornish assumed her position earlier this month on March 7th, after serving as interim president since August of last year. She originally came to Ithaca College in 2018 as provost and senior vice president for academic affairs.
You needed a committed leader and a stable leader. There's been a revolving door at the provost level. And I said, you know what? If chosen, I can go here and I can make a difference and I can stay.
I sat down with President Cornish to discuss her hopes and strategic vision for the future of Ithaca College, what's led her to where she is now, and her time before joining the school. So you've been president for almost a month now. How has it been going so far?
I have been president for 21 days, and it's going fine. I'm still taking it all in. I've been interim since August the 30th, so in many ways I've had 7 months of on-the-job training, but now I really get to make decisions as president. Not that I didn't make them as the interim, but now I truly get to make them as the 10th president of Ithaca College.
Did you ever plan on taking this type of role before at a college university?
No, I came here to be the provost. That was why I was here. I wanted to be the leader of the academic unit of the college, and so it didn't enter my consciousness when I came here in 2018 that by 2022 I would become the president.
And now you worked under former President Cornish's administration as provost. How is your presidency going to be different than hers?
Well, I can't say it's going to be different exponentially so, because during my first year I was charged with co-chairing the strategic planning committee for the college, which resulted in the Ithaca Forever strategic plan. We are in year 3 of plan implementation, and I stand by that plan because I worked with the students, faculty, staff, alumni, community members to create that plan. And so we have 2 years of implementation remaining. What we need to do is to assess where we are, what's left undone, and then use those things as a springboard to the next plan, which we will begin writing probably at the end of 24.
I want to stay on the topic of the Ithaca Forever plan for now. What led you to come up with this plan as the main architect for its entire strategic plan?
So again, as the co-chair, along with Jason Freitag, who is an associate professor in the Department of History, we were tasked with engaging the entire community in a plan that would direct the strategic direction, if you will, of the college for 5 years, and that's what we did.
And with the implementation of this plan, what can we expect from the rest of this academic year and the next underneath this new strategic plan?
Okay, so highlight for this year was the PA program. That was a part of the plan. It was in there from the very beginning, and so we're glad to see that done. Another highlight is centralizing graduate and professional studies. We now have a new Associate Provost for Graduate and Professional Studies, and that's Christina Moylan. Another highlight is that faculty in all departments across all schools continue to revise the curriculum. One of the goals of the plan was to structurally support collaboration, interdisciplinarity, and so we're doing that as departments work to make the curriculum more flexible for students. So those are the 3 things that I would like to point to immediately that we are realizing from the plan.
And on the topic of students, what would you say to those who do not agree with the decisions that you have made during your tenure at Ithaca College thus far?
I would say that they have every right to have their opinion. Okay, we don't always agree, but as I always say, we can disagree without being disagreeable. And so I need students to understand that majors come and go all the time. We listen to students. Students vote with their feet as to which classes they take. And when you see fewer students declaring majors and minors, then you need to pay attention that maybe it is time to sunset those majors and minors because students are less interested in those majors and minors. We do not have infinite resources.
And where would you see the student morale today? Where's your viewpoint on that? How do you view it?
You know, I was here all weekend. So on Friday night, I attended the banquet for the National Collegiate Gymnastics Association. On Saturday, it was Experience Ithaca 3, but it was also the Gymnastics Championships in the Hill Center. Saturday night, there was an amazing concert in Ford Hall. So when I see students and I engage with students, they are happy to be back on this campus, having classes in person and engaging with one another. So I say that I think student morale is improving. I mean, you and I are sitting here maskless. And I think that contributes to the morale of our students as well.
And now, past students, the alumni. What plans do you have to address the alumni who feel a bit mistrust after the students have spiraled out during this past year?
So the beauty, Jordan, is that we have nearly 70,000 alumni. And so what are we going to do to reconnect with those alumni? What are we going to do to get them to come back home, if you will? There is an amazing alumni network that can help our current students as they seek to go into the workforce, as they seek internships, as they seek mentors. So one of the things that I intend to do is to work hard with our philanthropy and engagement office to do whatever we can to re-engage our alumni, to let them know we see you, we hear you, we need you, and more important, our students need you.
And with that, since 2015, there's been a decline in the number of alumni donations being made to the school. And with donations being a main priority or main asset for a school to sustain itself, how will you work to increase the donation rate as president?
I cannot be held accountable for anything that happened prior to me assuming the presidency on March the 7th, 2022. I reach out to alumni through a vlog every month. There's an alumni newsletter that goes out every month. And so I just want to go around the country and first meet with our alumni. I want to hear their stories. I want to know how Ithaca College made a difference in their lives. And I feel like if I hear their stories, if I form a relationship with them and let them know we want to hear you, we want to hear from you, more important, we want you to come back to this campus. It's all about building relationships. And so I'm going to do everything in my power to spend the next year building relationships with our alumni and re-engaging them in a meaningful way.
And other than just alumni, there's also the faculty members. They remain priority of the APP itself.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your response to faculty members that are feeling either on the edge about this, about having to cut these degree programs that they taught in and they know people who taught in the past?
So part of my job as provost is to be mindful of the resources of this institution. For more than 10 years, the size of the faculty continued to increase while the size of the student body decreased. Part of the APP required that we align the size of our faculty and staff with the size of our student body. And so we have done that work. The reality is this, Jordan, this is not work that should be one and done. This is work that should happen all the time. We should always be aligning the size of our faculty and staff with the size of our student body. You know, with regard to the APP process, I said that it would take place in 3 phases. Phase 1, alignment. Phase 2, restructure, reorganize. Phase 3, strategic growth. We're in phases 2 and 3 right now. And I believe that we are going to grow strategically in the places where it makes sense and in the places that are of interest to our students.
And how do you plan to increase the number of POC faculty that are on campus right now?
One by one.
And you talked about diversity, you also talked about affordability. If you only had one priority as president heading into the next academic year, what would it be?
Giving our students a sense of belonging. Because when I feel like I belong, then I'm willing to persevere. If I don't feel like I belong, it is easy for me to throw in the towel and walk away. So I want our students to know that we see you, we hear you, we value you, and you belong here.
And where do you see the college 10 years from now?
Ooh, soaring. We are a comprehensive college rooted and grounded in the liberal arts tradition with amazing professional schools. I see our students excelling in every field. I see our students who become alumni tomorrow reaching out to helping those students who are still here at the college. I see a bright future for Ithaca College. People will hear about us, and people will want to come here because of what we do and the way in which we do it.
Moving away from the college just for a moment, learning more about yourself.
Okay.
We heard that you love cooking.
I do.
So what kind of food do you enjoy cooking?
I'm known for my macaroni and cheese, also for my grilled chicken wings. I have a vertical smoker, so I like to smoke meats. It relaxes me to cook, so I might spend all day Saturday on the deck, given the opportunity so to do, smoking foods. And so I love to cook and I love to feed people. So that warms my soul.
All right. Well, coming up after a break, more with President Cornish. We'll be right back. In the past, you previously worked in the Baltimore school system and was an English teacher for 3 years. What made you want to work in higher education?
So I was an English teacher for 9 years, and then I became an assistant principal. I attended Ithaca College, which is a small liberal arts college in Baltimore, Maryland, and I never had a professor who looked like me. And so Goucher reached out to me in 1998 and said, Jerne, we want you to come back and teach in the education department. And I said, well, I would need a PhD in order to do that. And they said, well, we are going to pay for you to get your PhD. So Goucher sent me back to school. I am the only graduate of the Goucher Grow Your Own Professor of Color program. And it took me 7 years to earn my PhD. My son was 2 years old at the time. And after spending 20 years at Goucher, I became the associate provost for, undergraduate studies there, and then I came here as provost. But let me go back to your question. I went into higher education because I never saw anybody who looked like me in the front of the room. And what I learned was that it is not only important for students of color to see someone who looks like them in the front of the room, but it's also important for students who look nothing like me to see someone like me in the front of the room.
And so you came to Ithaca College in 2018. What led you to this school in particular?
Provost job. And so having been the associate provost for 4 years, I decided to see if I could earn a provost position. And so I applied for 2 jobs. I was a finalist for both of them. One was in Minnesota and one was Ithaca in upstate New York. And so I chose the Ithaca job. And it was the best decision for me.
And how do you believe that your experiences thus far has prepared you for this new role as president?
Well, this is my 39th year in education. So when you think about it, to go from a 6th grade English teacher to the president of the college, I just kept learning. My mother died the first day of finals my freshman year. And before dying, she said to me, promise me that you will always stay in school. Because if you stay in school, you will always be able to take care of yourself. And so I said, Mommy, I promise. Little did I know that I would spend the rest of my life in school. I've been in school since my mother died.
And looking back, is there anything that you feel could have prepared you better for this moment now that you've been here for 21 days, as you put it?
Not really. I went to a PWI, predominantly white institution. Ithaca is a predominantly white institution. Goucher was struggling, trying to diversify its faculty and staff. Ithaca has the same challenges, trying to diversify its faculty and staff. Students who looked like me needed to see somebody who looked like them in the front of the room. The same thing is the case at Ithaca. So for me, this is the familiar. It's just larger. And because it's larger, we have more opportunity to be better. And we will.
And as you put that, you said earlier that as president, you're able to make more decisions other than just where you were as interim president. What is your plan to improve the physical spaces on campus?
Well, good question. So, we need to improve housing stock. Okay? Our students need to have more choices with regard to living, particularly upper class students. We need to renovate the student center. We just need to. If we could make a new one, that would be great. Absent being able to raise enough money for a new student center, we can certainly renovate the one we have. And then, quite frankly, a lot of students come here because they're interested in what happens in the Park School. And so, pardon my words, but Park needs a refresh. And so how do we help Park get the refresh that it needs? So those are some of the things that are on my mind on the front end of this.
And will you enact anything from the master plan, or are there any plans to update the dorms? I know you already said that you want to update the student center, so what do those plans lead to?
So housing, we need more housing stock. We need to take some dorms offline perhaps and build new dorms. We have an opportunity, I believe, with having more of our seniors stay on campus. There's a proposal for seniors to have reduced costs for their housing in their senior year. We need our seniors to mentor our younger students. We need to better utilize the space that we have. And so tutoring services, for example, will move into this building. We want to consolidate H&S. So the faculty who are in Rothschild right now, who work in H&S, we want to bring H&S back together again as the liberal arts spine, if you will, of the college. So we're looking at using our space differently. We want to build an amphitheater on the side of the Hill Center, connected to the fountain, so you look out over the lake. We could have Tanglewood at Ithaca. So we've got serious plans for how to refresh this institution in more than one place.
Definitely. And what is Ithaca College doing, and what is your plan going forward to combat the changing demographics across higher education and enrollment declines, specifically among small liberal arts colleges like Ithaca?
We are not a small liberal arts college, so let me be clear about that. We are a comprehensive college grounded in the liberal arts tradition. We teach students how to think critically, creatively, and analytically, but we have amazing professional schools, and they are our strength. And so let's be clear about that. The strategic plan is helping us prepare for declining enrollments. If you think about it, we knew that the demographic cliff was coming. The pandemic accelerated the decline, but we said that we thought that the right size for the student body would be about 5,000 students. 4,500 undergraduate students, about 500 graduate students. And so we see that we will be there eventually again in a couple of years. So we are preparing for us to be a smaller institution. And hence I think that we're going to survive this because we knew it was coming and we planned for it. And so I think that will serve us well in the years to come.
With the resizing, Ithaca College has announced a 2.68% increase in tuition, room and board for the next academic year, a little over $64,000 per year. First of all, why was this increase made?
We are a tuition-dependent institution. 93% of our students get some type of financial aid. And even though tuition has risen, students are getting financial aid as well.
And what plans do you have to make Ithaca College more affordable to prospective, admitted, and current students who are already on campus right now?
We have to continue to figure out how to make our college more affordable. We are coming up with a price guarantee, if you will, a 4-year price guarantee, where students will know walking in the door that your tuition, room and board, your total cost of attendance will only rise by X amount during the 4 years that you are here. And so Student Financial Services and the admission department, they are working very hard to come up with what we're calling the Ithaca Commitment, so that families will know walking in the door the cost of an education at Ithaca College for 4 years.
And when is this Ithaca commitment going to be implemented? How soon do you see this being implemented?
So students who are enrolling for the fall of 22 are seeing the Ithaca commitment. There will be no secrets, no surprises, no stress.
All right. And what are the biggest challenges that you're expecting to face as president?
Again, the enrollment decline has been a challenge for us, but again, I think because we planned, we will be ready for it. Big challenge is how do we market, how do we better market Ithaca College? How do we enhance the brand in a way that makes us more attractive? We have great programs, but there's been a challenge helping people know about the great programs at Ithaca College, in my humble opinion. And so how do we better market this institution that Ithaca College will be the first choice for students and not the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th choice? Because as you know, many students are applying to more than one college, and so we want students for whom we are the first choice.
And on the flip side of that, what are the biggest opportunities that you're looking forward to as president?
The School of Music, Theater, and Dance. When you combine the renowned School of Music with one of the top theater arts programs in the country, I think that we will all see the benefit of bringing those programs together. I think about, sport management, sport leadership. I read the Ithacan. I was disheartened to see the number of females who are in our sport media, sport management programs, but I think that's an opportunity for us as well, because it's something that we do really well. And so how do we attract more female students into those programs? I think STEM, we have strength in STEM fields. How do we get more students to know about STEM at Ithaca? Health sciences and human performance, PT, OT, AT. The list goes on. We've got amazing programs. School of Business, small school, big possibility.
And with these opportunities as well, what's something that you want people to know about you that maybe they don't already know?
Good question, Jordan. I am who I am. I'm authentic in every way. I bring all of me to my job every day. My wife is a principal in the public schools here. She's the principal of the Lehman Alternative Community School. And we feel so fortunate that we get to bring our full selves to what we do every day. I care deeply. The 3 words I started this school year with were intentionality, connection, and care. I want us to be intentional about everything we say, we think, and we do. I want us to connect with one another in the classroom, outside of the classroom, and I want us to care for one another. And I think that if we do those 3 things, those things will make us intentional and make us a place where people want to come, because they will know at Ithaca College we can be seen, heard, and valued.
And then what are your other hobbies, outside the schoolroom itself?
There was a time in my life when I loved to bowl. And so recently I went 10-pin bowling, and I found out in the history of Ithaca College, there used to be a bowling alley on this campus. And so I was like, wow, wouldn't it be fun if we could bowl again? It's something that, you just throw a ball and you throw it down the lane and you can just have a really good time making a fool of yourself, but it can be fun. And so I went bowling 2 weeks ago and we had so much fun. And I'm like, I want us to have more fun on this campus. And so I want more fun. How about that?
All right. And is there anything else you'd like to go add about this presidency and everything else you feel is important to include in this conversation between the 2 of us?
I just want you to know that I'm in this for the long haul. As I said, it's going to take 3 to 5 years to restore our reputation. We've taken some hits, And I recognize that and I acknowledge it. But there's no challenge that's too insurmountable that we cannot overcome it. And then it's going to be 3 to 5 years to soar. And I am daring people to believe that our future will be positive. I dare you to believe it. And then when it happens, I want you to remember that I told you so.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, President Cornish, for taking time out of your day to go speak with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that concludes this ICTV News special report. I'm Jordan Broking. Thank you for joining us. Good night.